Today we got a great guest today from Pluto TV, one of the co-founders. Ilya, welcome to the Cord Cutting Show.
Thanks for having me, Luke.
Hey, could you just kind of give an introduction to what Pluto TV is for everybody?
Sure thing. So Pluto TV is a free online television service. We broadcast over 100 live channels full of TV shows, movies, and then internet videos that are handpicked by people that really love entertainment. So we've got over 100 channels in categories like news, sports, cartoons, music videos, movies, TV shows, just overall great entertainment across the board.
You're the co-founder. Can you kind of take us back to how it started? What was the original idea that got this all going?
Sure thing. So I have two daughters now. I am a dad, 2 and 4. And when my oldest daughter was 2, about a couple of years ago, I was sitting with her while I was working on one screen, and on the other screen I was picking out some YouTube videos. I believe she was into Elmo at that time. And every time I, picked a video, she watched it right after. She was like, "Daddy, like more Elmo, more this." And I used a lot of the recommendations that YouTube gave. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was off. And I found that working at the same time while she was on my lap and picking out videos was quite a chore, and it wasn't as easy as it should be. And I saw when she was watching regular TV, she's just, she could zone out for an hour or two, right? And that same experience, even though there's such amazing content on the internet, that lean back experience just didn't exist. And I looked at myself as somebody that just learned how to change diapers and learning all the 101s of being a dad, and found myself now trying to be one of the requirements being that I had to be an expert of children's video, and I thought that was kind of off. So that's kind of what sparked the idea. I said, why is the internet and video on the internet so different from TV? I know when I want to watch, it's perfect, right? I could search, everything is a keyword away. There's lots of great libraries from Netflix to Hulu to YouTube. And if you know what you're looking for, it's right there. But if you don't, and you just want to be entertained, whether it's for my daughter, for myself, or anyone else, there's no lean back experience like TV offers out of internet content. However, internet nowadays is full of amazing premium content, and there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of hours of it, right? So that's kind of what sparked the idea. Let's create a TV-like experience out of the internet, and that's when Pluto TV was born.
Can you you kind of talked a lot about the finding the content, everything. Can you kind of tell us how that process works? Who decides, hey, this is going to be on this channel? Is there somebody like watching YouTube, finding new content, new sources all day? How does that work?
It's the best job in the world, right? You get to look at YouTube videos all day. No, but in reality, yeah, when we launched, we launched plugging into a lot of these open APIs like YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, and the like. And we had access to a whole slew of content, but our experience is highly curated, right? When you're creating a lean back experience, you want the best of the best. You want to kind of reduce that paradox of choice, and you want users to be highly entertained for a long period of time. So, we decided that let's start somewhere around 100 channels, because if there's too many channels to choose from, you're now back into the problem we're actually trying to solve, which is let's limit it to only the best content out there that's highly entertaining. So we figured out the channels that need to cover kind of the wide grab of entertainment, from news to cartoons to kids to music, all over the dial. And then we hired a team of curators that are experts in each category. So it's about a third of our company. They go through, we look through a lot of online sources. They build episodes out of short form and long form content. We arrange them in 30-minute and 60-minute episodes, and we put them on our schedule, on our dial. and we have they're all experts in their specific industry. So, for example, we have a former MMA fighter, Andrew, who curates the fight channel and the boxing channels and the hockey fights channel and things like that. So they're really into kind of their background, and it's really what they're good at.
Well, that sounds like a fun job. If you ever, I have a 2-year-old daughter also, so you ever need a kids show expert? No, I'm just kidding. Um, Kind of moving along. Recently, you guys announced the deal with Hulu to bring
Yeah.
some Hulu content. Can you kind of tell what the user should expect from that?
Yeah, so I mean, our view with Hulu is, first of all, we believe that digital and traditional content needs to coexist in one place, and that users, our viewers, don't really distinguish the two, right? They just want highly entertaining content. So if it's a skate video or an awesome viral video someone recorded on their phone, or a highly produced music video, or a great TV show or a movie, that's what people want. They just want to be entertained. So uh, Hulu is a perfect example of an incredible company that has done a great job aggregating some of the best content from television and and studios and things like that. And our goal with Hulu is from a curation perspective, we're focusing a lot on content people wouldn't have necessarily sought out, right? So if you go to Hulu and you want to catch up on the last episode of The Bachelor, that's probably a really good experience for Hulu. But you may not know that Hulu has Twilight Zone and content like that, right? You may and kind of that TV experience when you turn on cable, right? And you're now figuring out you're not drawn in by a specific show, right? You're kind of flipping channels and just trying to find something to entertain you, and you see, oh look, a Seinfeld rerun, or look, Family Guy, or let's turn on HDTV and watch some home repair. That's the kind of content that does that's really good for us. That's the lean back entertainment that we're looking for, right? And the access to Hulu and their amazing content library gave us that opportunity to really uncover those gems and surface content that people wouldn't have otherwise sought.
Hey, tell me, how many hours per week do you think is spent on watching all of these different sources?
Oh, geez.
I mean, is there somebody like doing it all the time? Like, okay, you're doing from, because I'd have to imagine we keep saying, oh, what a fun job, but to be honest with you, I mean, I couldn't watch YouTube all day. It would make me crazy, especially if it was, I mean, how many, even if you like cute puppy videos,
Yeah.
how many of them can you watch before it's like, oh, wow, the puppy barked?
Well, it's not just YouTube. I mean, we have YouTube, we have our Vimeo, we have Dailymotion, we have Hulu, right? And then we
Oh,
have
yeah.
all of our directly licensed content that's
No,
also in our platform that's
what,
coming
what
from partners with.
what I'm
Sorry,
saying
go
is
ahead.
like you probably don't have a Clockwork Orange scenario, with the eyes stapled open. But so I'm just wondering, like your army of content viewers, like what's a shift like? Is it 10
Sure.
hours, 6 hours? And do you have them going? Do you have somebody working every minute?
Yeah, I mean so yeah, our curators work constantly. I wouldn't say every minute, but we have certain channels. I'll just give you an example. Like our News 24/7 channel um, is updated to the minute as soon as news comes out, right? So a curator on that channel is on it, and they're looking for latest released videos. They're curating it in the right order and making sure the stories are told from different sources, which I think is what people really love about our platform. You could turn on News 24/7, you're watching, CNN, ABC, CBS, AP, Reuters, all in one shot, right? And we're highlighting the best stories of the day and any kind of breaking news. So that's curated very often. But if you take something on the flip side, like, for example, Top 40 or our kids content, kids love to see the same stuff over and over. So that's curated a little bit less. Top 40 charts come out once a week, right? So we update that weekly, right? So I guess it depends on the channel. But a lot of our content comes from, as I was saying, from a lot of different sources, and we're getting these libraries of really amazing content. But but we're not looking to curate the entire internet, right? We only want to find the best of the best. So we have a number of select partners and channels we work with where we specifically go to them to look for the latest videos, and we know they're already going to be high quality, right? I think when it comes to things like viral videos or the latest cat video, it's a little bit more open. But for other channels, we strive to really find the best of the best and bring that forward, and it's a limited amount of partners that can offer that.
Nice. I imagine that's a lot of work. It's impressive you guys can keep up on it. I've noticed that the news channel is very good at that.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely a ton of work.
I'm curious, have you gotten any lashback from places like YouTube or Vimeo for kind of, over wrapping their content? I'm thinking of the Twitter scenario where Twitter is happy to let a service use their API until they kind of steal away too many eyes from the main Twitter platform, and then you hear about Twitter kind of cutting somebody off. Have you seen any negative stuff like that?
Honestly, quite on the contrary. I mean, YouTube, we work closely with their team. They're very supportive of what we're doing. They're helping us from a curation perspective and from a technical and engineering perspective. I believe the last stat I read is something like 60% of YouTube views happen outside of YouTube.com, right? Or outside of YouTube's environment on places like us. So whenever you're a content creator and you upload your content to YouTube, you select whether you want third parties to play your content or you want it just on YouTube, right? So the majority allow third party providers to play their content. They want the additional exposure. And I think YouTube sees it the exact same way. So they're actually very supportive of what we're doing. We're just driving additional awareness for a lot of their top partners.
Oh, I was wondering, when you're dealing with something like YouTube or anything that runs its own ads, do they still make money from the ads that that they put together? That's something I would always wonder about, is any content that's ad supported. What happens there, like with Hulu, for instance?
Yeah, so I mean, on YouTube, I'll use that example. Whenever you see YouTube ads come through on our platform, we don't participate in those. That's between YouTube and the content creator.
All right. Speaking of all the devices and sources and everything, could you kind of let our listeners know what devices Pluto TV is on at the moment?
Yeah. So I mean, we're a free ad-supported platform, right? So we don't require sign-up subscription. We want people to be entertained with the least amount of friction. So because of that, our goal is to be available everywhere. We started off with, your common, mobile web, right? So we're on Android, we're on iOS, we're on the Amazon ecosystem, we're on web. We have a downloadable PC app, downloadable Mac app. We've also built out compatibility for Chromecast, AirPlay. We're on Amazon Fire TV, and then we're on Android TV.
Any future devices coming up that you're getting close enough to make an announcement on, or not yet?
Yes, but not yet.
Okay.
I mean, look, our goal is to be everywhere. For us, because it's a TV-like experience, right? And it's long-form viewing is what we're after. The larger the screen, the better the experience. So the living room is extremely important to us. And I'm sure you can kind of add two and two together. The connected TV space, which is all over from gaming systems to smart TVs to streaming media players, right? That's a very important space to us. And because our goal is to be everywhere and living room is really important, I'm sure you could bet we're coming.
So since the screen is big and the size of the screen is important, can we expect a Pluto.tv movie theater experience?
I don't know. That's an interesting one. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me that question before.
Well, to be honest with you, I'd prefer that to just sitting there watching commercials for the latest big hit from TNT. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I hear you. Look, I mean, our goal is to be everywhere when users are and where users are. So if we find that the movie theater is a there's a good home, then we'll go for it.
I could definitely agree with you that, the big screen is better. I find 90% of the time I'm on Pluto TV, it's on my TV instead of my phone or tablet. It's while I'm working around the house. And we always end with a recommendation. Do you have any recommendations for our listeners, what to discover, what to find?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, the way everyone watches Pluto TV very differently. I mean, it's honestly all over, right? We have such a great amount of array of channels, and it covers so many different categories. We interview a lot of our power users, and we see people watching like yoga in the morning, and then catching up on news in the afternoon, and then late night in the evening. For me personally, I'm more of a geek, so I love my tech news. I'm on tech news multiple times throughout the day, and then regular old news 24/7. I love stand up. I think the stand up channel kind of dedicated to just nonstop stand up is always really amazing to just turn it on, and it just puts you in an amazing mood. And then late night, I watch a lot of the late night clips. It highlights the best of the best. And then of course, if we're going out Friday or Saturday night, you got to turn on the music video channel and put on some hip hop or EDM to get you in the mood.
Now, Elliot, when you say late night, you're talking Conan O'Brien, not like Sordid Tales or something, correct?
That's right. Yeah. The Conans, the Fallons, yeah, the highlights from the best of late night, essentially.
I will say it's nice to see when you click on a music channel, there's music on it. So that's a really nice touch there.
Thank you.
Any last questions from Elias or Ryan?
I think I'm good.
Covered.
Hey, thank you so much for coming out to be on the podcast today. We really appreciate it. I'm sure our listeners are going to greatly enjoy the interview.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, and I'm also glad to come back on and let you guys know of some new stuff around the corner, as it happens. So thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you so much.